All right, we have the women's world record, Strava, world record marathon. To run a marathon fast, you've got to be lean and have veins popping out if you're a bro. And if you're a chick, you've got to be around 50 kilos. 40 to 55 kilos is your sweet spot for women's running. 40 kilos to 55 kilos. 150 centimeters to 170. That's your peak range. Now we have Ruth Chepchigi, I butchered the last name. Ruth Struth Ruth, what a great time. She's about 165 centimeters, give or take, and she's around that 48 kilo mark. Magic numbers, all right? Oh, but she's short. She can't run fast. You see all these people out there, all the women out there. I wish I was 6 foot. I could run quicker. How tall are you? I'm 165. Well, the world record holder, who's quicker than most men in the world ever, is 165 as well. Oh, next question. So shorter, petite, light, that is advantageous in running. Think of an Italian greyhound. Look how little stumpy its little legs are. Cute and stumpy little legs. Look how fast an Italian greyhound is. Boom! World's fastest dog in a 100-meter sprint. Poof! And look how small and short and light it is. So yeah, Italian greyhound's amazingly fast dog, crazy fast. And then you have the full-size greyhound, which is the fastest dog, over the 400, etc. But hey, they don't have as bigger legs as Alsatians or Great Saint Bernards or, what? There you go. So it's not about the being longer legs. Longer legs isn't faster. Longer legs for high jump, longer legs for basketball, yeah. But otherwise, no. Not for running. Light is better. That's why you'll have 15-year-old girls who are 160 centimeters and 30-something kilos who could beat me in a 5K. There's not many of them, but they're out there. On the bike, I'd smoke them. But on running, they got shorter legs than me. I'm 6 foot. Why can't I beat them? Because, well, one, they put in more work, but two, their physics, they're going to dominate. And they're the girls who, if they stay at it, they're in the Olympic team, etc. If you can run sub 17 for 5,000 meters as a 15-year-old girl, then you're going to be on the Olympic team. And if you take drugs, then you're going to be potentially a medalist. So let's get back on the topic of the world record women's Ruth from Kenya. Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, where the other world's kings and queens of distance running. People are saying, they're from Africa, they must be using drugs. But you can't afford drugs in Africa, can you? Isn't it amazing? People are so quick to judge. Now, what do I think? Of course it's doped. But people are so quick to judge that if an American did that time, they'd be like, wow, look at that, awesome. But because a Kenyan did it, they're like, hey, we're suspicious here. Because of how many Kenyans have been busted and the media puts that narrative out there. And yeah, it's true, but the Americans dope, Australians dope, Belgians dope, French dope. At the top, we just take drugs. I'm not at the top, so I can't say we, but that's what's done. If you don't dope, you won't coat at the top. It's professional sport. It's okay, right? Oh, it's not okay. You're cheating. You're cheating clean runners and clean swimmers and clean cyclists of opportunities. No one who's going for gold is clean, my friend. Get that fairy tale out of your ass, okay? No one's clean. If people understand, like, here's the workflow. Here's the timeline. You got to be a genetic freak to be a good athlete. Let's just use swimmer, runner, cyclist. Okay, those three cardio sports. You got to have it. You got to be born with good genetic stock. Okay? If you don't have that, you will never ever be an Olympic champion or a big name in sport. You won't. You can take all the drugs in the world. If you don't have that genetic talent, good stock, you won't be shit at the top. All right, you'll be in the finals, in the heats, yeah, but you won't be a Phelps. You won't be a Kathy Freeman, etc. You got to have that genetic stock. Lance Armstrong, etc. Pog. So you got that genetic stock, and then you got to have at least a decade of consistent training where injuries are non-existent or minimal. So you have that consistent stacking year after year after year of that aerobic conditioning, lactate threshold, all that stuff. Technique, get your technique down pat, especially with a swimmer. Okay, so genetic stock, decade of training. Then you need the mental capacity to want to continue that lifestyle, okay? Because a lot of people quit. They get into parties, get into girls, get into boys, get into cars, get into party drugs, and they go, fuck it, I'm out, okay? So genetic stock, 10 years of training, mentality, I still want to keep going, and then you get to a certain level and you're getting your ass kicked. And you're thinking, That person's a junior I kept up with, and now they're fucking light years ahead. Oh, they got a doctor. Oh, Dr. Rosa. Oh, Dr. Ferrari. Oh, Dr. such and such. Okay. What are you going to do? You're going to say, no, fuck it. I've put 10 years in. I'm going to bow now. I'm going to get a job at fucking the Nike outlet. You know, I'm going to get a job as a personal trainer. And these jobs are fine. Nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people are going to feel a bit ripped off that they could have become the Olympic champion, got the big dollar deal, and they're like, fuck it. Give me the drugs. All right. What drugs are we talking about? For swimming, cycling, and running. It's triamcinolone, acetinoid, aka Kenacort. That's a huge one. It's a corticosteroid, prednisone style drug. Triamcinolone. That's like boom. It opens up your airways, makes you feel like Superman. I've never used it, but I've had friends who've used it, Cookie Man, etc. That stuff's really, really strong, but you're going to use it a couple times a year, otherwise you're going to fuck yourself up. And then you got testosterone, you got nandrolone, blood bags, EPO, and then you got all these lugworm hemoglobin, derivatives and all this stuff. And you got gene doping, which I don't really understand or know much about. You got doping, okay? You got painkillers like tramadol and aspirin and paracetamol and shit, And you got the ADD medications, Ritalin, methylphenidate, dexamphetamine, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you got all these smorgasbords. Basically what you want is an asthma puffer, salbutamol. So what's the use at the top? Now, I'm not saying this is right, I'm just saying this is the business model. This is the workflow. You need a painkiller, so aspirin, paracetamol, tramadol, pethidine, some sort of opioid or low-level painkiller, depends on your choice. So painkiller, UFC. I mean, the most strong drug for a fighter is a painkiller, tramadol, pethidine, etc. Okay, so when you do your shin kicks, you ever seen that? People do check a shin kick, and they're just like, whatever. Or they get like a knee in the liver, and they keep walking. So what the fuck? And then the next day they're hobbling around. Why is that? Because the next day the painkiller's worn off. Man, I've been shin checked and kneed before. You fucking, unless you're on painkillers, you're getting dropped pretty much. So that's painkillers is huge. So that's your foundation is a painkiller. You also need they're also used as a hormone replacer because all the training and the travel and the stress and boom, 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 and that wears down your hormones. So a testosterone or an estrogen, something to boost that is used. And then a lot of time you're getting to a very, very low body weight. And so your hemoglobin can start to go down. I mean, you're at a great weight for, power weight ratio, but then your blood's getting a bit thin. So you need to boost your blood back up. So you want a blood booster, like an EPO, like an oxygen vector doping agent. So you got EPO, or you take a blood transfusion, and boom, now you're super skinny, you're super light, and you got this blood in your body, and boom, you have more power there. Blood creates the power. And then there's drugs like insulin to use, so you can store more sugar into the muscle, increase your recovery. But again, insulin is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. People die from insulin. It's a very, very dangerous drug. Never recommend using that unless you know what you're doing. So insulin is also used, small dosages to help with recovery, the hormones. So we've got the painkiller, hormones, stimulants. So you're just like, it's masking fatigue. Now, stimulants, I would say, aren't always necessary because stimulants for some people can create excess anxiety, and then they're making bad choices or not really fully paying attention. Okay, so stimulants, I believe you can compete at a very, very high level without the stims. Right, the EPO, the Kenacort, the triamcinolone, those things, yeah, I understand they're essential. But with stimulants, I don't think you need to use those. I think that's something you can tick off the box. Okay, and I think stimulants are probably one of the worst ones because they affect your sleep quality. Right? And if you affect your sleep quality, then you're on the still knocks and the sleeping tablets, and then you're drowsy, and then you need more stims, and then you're starting to dig a bit of a hole. Okay, so if there's one thing I'd say people got to really focus on is stims. Less is more. Okay, less is more, or just save for race day, and then you won't need much at all. So stimulants is very used. Stimulants can also open up your airways, which brings us to asthma medications, salbutamol, all those things. The puffers, the injectables, clenbuterol is for increase your airways as well. So those things are, I've never used clenbuterol. I think salbutamol is a much better drug because it's just going to dose it better and it's not as hectic. I see people using clenbuterol and it's very bad for your metabolism because it can shut off your hunger. and then your body just goes into rebound, you gain all this weight back. You know, and then you're like, then you can have extra weight. So you can be on all the drugs in the world, but then you've got this extra weight. It's just negating that. So if you're going to take stuff, understand what you're taking. Do years of homework before you take anything. Understand what's going on. Do your homework. So that's the reality out there. So there's no one running world record times. There's no swimming world records today that are natty. Okay, running, cycling, etc. It's just, you know, in the last 2 years, the 10 fastest marathons, 7 out of 10 have ran in the last 2 years. Okay, with the fastest ever all time being run in Chicago on the weekend. It's pretty fucking amazing. Yes, the shoes help. We're whistling shoes here. Vaporfly, here we go. Yes, the shoes do help, but not that much. The shoes do help. All right, the lightweight singlets definitely do help. Minimal clothing, aero clothing does help. But otherwise, yeah, it's the drugs are really, really important. So yeah, genetic stock, at least 10 years of consistent training, mentality to live the lifestyle of the athlete, the pro athlete, and boom, your understanding and your opportunity of pharmacokinetics and pharmacology. And that's not my field. I'm an expert with weight loss and nutrition. That's me. I'm the champion with that. But when it comes to with dosages and stuff, that's not my ball game. I think that it takes a lot of time, decades to really understand that. And that's something I'm observing and I've experimented with myself, but that's not my forte. All right? I know people are using stuff, but what to use, how to use, when, that's not my forte. I'm paid or I'm advised or I'm watched. I influence people on nutrition, diet, recovery. The pharmacokinetics, the drug part, that's not my forte at all. But I definitely have a strong interest in it because it's, you know, it's just something I don't really understand that much for many years. Now I understand a lot better. I can spot it a lot more easier now. So yeah, I get interested in things I don't understand, but are things that I think have value for society and value to understand things better. So yeah, that's just the deal. Yeah, it's doped. It's a dope time. And should she be punished? No, because she's an entertainment. All right. You think Kipchoge is natty? You think Ruth is natty? You think Michael Phelps is natty? You think Michael Jordan? You think Michael Jordan? You think Michael Jordan ever took anything? You know, how many Jordans I sell because of Michael Jordan? Yes, he's got the talent. But steroids help you jump harder and longer and extend your career, help you recover from certain injuries. Okay? Drugs are part of pro sport, people. Pro sport is aggressive exercise funded by money to make more money. Okay? That's why I have no issues when people get busted. Meanwhile, on social media, you got these guys out there, Ath and Will Trennison, and all these bros, Greg Douche, I just take TRT, you know, all these fake natties out there, just using gear, selling protein powders and programs to noobs out there who think, oh, he's clean, or oh, he just takes TRT, or he used Tren 20 years ago. And it's, no, not anymore, you know. 100 milligrams of Tren, 50 milligrams of Tren, man. That still gives you some pretty insane results. Not everyone who uses Tren becomes a 200 kilo Hulk monster, okay? Tren is popular because it works very, very good. I'm not saying you should use it, I'm just saying it's very common and very popular. And at small dosages, side effects, do your own homework. So yeah, I have an issue with the fake natties because that's, you're just frauding people straight up. Well, the professional athletes, they're frauding people too because we buy the shoes. Like, no one's buying the Vaporflies because they think they're going to fucking run a sub 2 hour marathon. No one is. We're buying the shoes because, like, well, that person ran faster than them, and these are good shoes. You can buy the Trek Lance Armstrong bike. It's a fucking great bike. You ride to work, lose weight, save money, help the environment. Win-win. But when you're going, and no one's buying a Lance Armstrong bike thinking they're going to be riding like Lance, okay? No one. But people out there are buying these programs and protein powders and shit from these coaches who are fake natty liars, and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to look like that. I just have to, do some pelican dips at the playground, and I'll look like that. No. Unless you get lean and then take the juice like they did, you ain't going to look like them. Ever. More dates, more plates. Nah. There's people taking more than TRT, kids. Okay? That's just the business model. So I have an issue with that. Because people are thinking they're going to look like a certain way, and they're trusting the influencers, and they're getting fucking scammed. You're getting fucking scammed. But the pro sport, I don't care, man. But I love it. I love that this world record marathon was broken because people are starting to question things now. And that's good. Once you start to question drugs in sport, you start to go, what the fuck else am I being lied to about? What else am I lied to about? My food, you know, my where my money goes, these wars and stuff. You start to question things. So I love it that this discussion is going on because people are starting to question things. But let's take the racism out of it, all right? Kenya is a poor country, money poor, because various reasons, but a big part of it is Western economics, okay? The average income in Kenya is around 500 to 1,000 USD a year. So if you work in a supermarket in Kenya 5-6 days a week, you earn about $500 to $1,000 a year, okay? A year. And that's a good job because you're in air conditioning, it's cleanish and safeish, you know? 500 to $1,000 a year working in a supermarket job, packing shelves and shit. So is it surprising when Nike and Asics go over with their talent scouts to these running camps in Eldoret in Kenya, Nairobi, in the Rift Valley, and they see there's talent out there, genetic talent, desire to escape poverty? Is it surprising that there's so many athletes that say, "Hey, I'll take the vitamin shot or whatever. Give me the vaccine." You know, it's not surprising at all. They want to get out of poverty. I get it. So who are we to judge? You know, and they're running for fast. Like, we like to see them running fast, man. We like to see freaks. The Olympics is a big fucking circus, man, of mutants. And yes, you can go to the Olympics as a clean athlete for sure, but you won't be winning nothing. You know what I mean? I think, yeah. Anyway, that's just okay. It's just pro sports entertainment. Entertainment. Understand that, people, but people don't want to understand that because we think, oh, it destroys our illusions. And then we start to question things, and people got so much anxiety because they're doing the sugar-free diet or limiting sugar that any extra anxiety they just can't handle. And I understand that. That's why you always want to be carved up every day, so you can open up your eyes and see, oh, that's what's going on. Okay, is what it is. So this is the great, man. Doped 100%. And let's say that these times aren't doped. Okay, so let's say that Michael Phelps, you know, let's say all these record holders, Pog, you know, Ruth, Kipchoge, the legends of the legends, Remco, etc., Van Aert, all the crew, Van Aert, you know, Van der Poel. Let's say they're all natural. Let's say Santa Claus does exist. Let's say they're all natural. What if happens if they took some juice? Eh? What if they took a full cycle? We're going to see a 150 marathon. We're going to see women going under 2 hours for the marathon. If that time was natty, 2:09, then with juice, she's going to be running sub 2 hours. Okay, so that's just, this goes to Michael Phelps' times, you know. Drugs. The enhanced games is already here. The enhanced games have been going on for fucking decades. Okay, there's been doping at Olympic gold level for decades, and we talk about the enhanced games being open about using stuff. The enhanced games have been going on for decades, man. That's just facts. Anyway, that's just the deal. Ruth, amazing time. The top 20 girls would have juiced that day. That's just not cheating. It's just the business. You know, everybody who puts in the work understands. Once you get to a certain level and start hanging around certain social circles, you understand, okay, I can stay here. I can stay as Packfield. That's cool. Or I can be a contender as well. And that's going to involve getting a doctor and some medical supervision. Gold medals are won primarily from medical supervision. All right. If you don't have any medical supervision, your chance of winning a gold outside of archery, lawn bowls, they have lawn bowls Olympics, then yeah, maybe. You know, swimming, cycling, running, you need medical supervision. You ain't going anywhere at the top. That's just facts. Part of it's business, okay? It's business.